been a while since I have done any work on the drill press head, but now I'm prepping everything for the brazing. So I've been out here with some acetone, safety sandals of course, and I am trying to get rid of any grease, any paint, any filler material, anything to get that surface ready to go. I'm going to have to cut out the other side. I also, like that one that's on the actual casting, I'm going to have to bring it down a little bit so that I can actually have wicking of the material in there. And I also need to gap this correctly. So I need to get some steel washers and then put a bolt through and maintain the gap that's on the inside here with the in situ gap. So that'll be interesting, difficult to do, but in a way there's already a fixture there, so yep, just brushing away. Here's the back side. This is what I meant by that gap, maintaining the gap through here. So I'm going to do the same thing, brush it a bunch with acetone, get everything prepped around the surface, and then I'm going to have to sort of cut out this way, out that way, so I can actually have a means of attaching it. At least that's what I think my plan's going to be for right now. Okay, and here's the difference. I don't know why it looks so different in color. This one has been soaking in acetone, so that's probably why. We have a pretty decent register here of where it needs to be. So now I've got to shim the gap there. Okay, so it turned out I had a washer that was roughly the exact size I needed to wedge in here. So that's good. So what I'm going to do now is bolt this together, and then I'm going to go along here and carve something out. Yeah, I think that's what I'll need to do. Okay, so one of the things I was concerned about was the coefficient of expansion between the cast iron and the steel. These are zinc plated steel, mild steel I suppose. They're pretty close in expansion. I think it's 5.6, and then the units of it versus 5.8. For steel, no, steel is the 5.8, and gray cast iron is also 5.8, but you know, I think we're probably somewhere around there. So just gonna go with this being close enough, and if the whole thing cracks due to differential heating, then you live, you learn, and we'll just scrap the head and take off the cool stuff and keep the base. So here's the path that I want to take, and I will just take the die grinder and slowly get away and slowly eat away at this. I will cut back a little bit on this side, but not as much, because I'm not going to be able to get really down in there. I guess I could cut it back a little bit more, but I want some of that crystalline structure to help with the fitment. But I guess I already did that step, so I'll probably cut it back. Yeah. All right, so I'm using the die grinder here, and I'm starting the path. In it now. Okay, so I slept on it a little bit, not on the actual press, that would be difficult. And what I've decided to do is actually sort of have additional channels here, almost like stitches in a way. What I want to do is to be able to, I might even make these almost like letter T's, because this has to pull in. I don't think it's going to have what it needs if I just you know, have a nice V channel through here. I think it's going to need to be able to grab onto something. I have no idea if this is going to work. I probably will have to bore that crack out a little bit more, but I think this is better than just a smooth surface on either side. Who knows, maybe mumbo jumbo, but I'll give it a go. Okay, polish the outside, harden the design a little bit more. I've cut some more ways, I guess you could say, in for material that I want to fill up. And I guess that's where I'm going to actually stop. Okay, so this is how I'm heating it, prepping it. Propane torch for like roofing and burning brush. So just going over it everywhere. Slow process, but
more efficient.
Okay, so I ground it down to see if there's any mega spoils in there. I can see a bit of layering. I hope my fingers that I put in there helped me get over the heating issue. Missed a spot there, so to speak, on the inside, but that's good enough. I'm just gonna let this sit, and then I'll take it apart later, and if I have to bring everything back out again, I will. And took out the bolt. No dice, no binding. So, since everything's out, okay, I had to do the redo, and this time I got it way hotter. That looks a lot better. Hopefully this one sticks. Okay, time to fire up the propane torch and give it a slow cool down. I covered it all up. Okay, so I just finished sanding it and polishing it a little bit to see what we're working with. This came out nicely, so that's good. I don't see any cracks yet. Fingers crossed here. My spacer got attached to the process, so anyway, yeah, I'll try to get that spacer out and maybe this will have worked. Here's the underside of that crack. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. That looks really nice. And of course, this is still wedged in there, but yeah. Okay, and pulled it out with this, and here we go. So I'm gonna polish this off, and it seems to be on there. Here's hoping.